Well, whatever it is.
30% chance of living.
Well,
30% chance of living.
the rocket is bullshit. I mean, it's there to, a rocket is a missile. That's, like, if they don't want North Korea poking around up there, I don't think they want just flat earthers. It's all about not being up there to get a view. So it's like.
Yeah, but I guess this rocket isn't even going to go as high as an airplane, so it's not going to hurt.
Oh man, so he's just pocketing money with a firework.
Correct.
Man, they're so stupid. Anybody who didn't fall for this, like.
It's about how it's going to go to the carbon line.
Yeah, I'm so disappointed. I have all these people on like my Facebook page that are like, ugh. They're like, they don't get it. They're being lampooned. They're being made fun of. And they're friends with it. They're friends with this, they've lacked discernment with anybody who might be an operative since like day one. So, anyways, I've got to, what?
Okay, well, I've been what I've been taking notes about, probably work on that issue of and officer. I'm not going to send you on her yet. I'm going to send you work it out. And you can look at these for all these. I don't really know what else to say other than, what I can verify when it's your case, it's your stuff.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I told her that I work on it with you so that she would hear me out. You know what I mean?
Okay, good.
So that works, but I wasn't real clear on like what I work on, or whatever, because I don't really have like any stage to the thing. It's just that I just want to be able to communicate without, the other people would say because it's not me, or because I'm not you, like they would speak to me, you would have to call them. So I was like, this, so this one I was just like, I work with them on the project, and she was like, that was enough for it. Great. What do you think about this, and this? And she said, okay, this is very interesting. I'm going to email give me this information. That was really good. She contacted me, Dak, so that was a pretty good initiative too, I feel like. So they're motivated, I think.
Listen, I got to let you go. I'm going to stream a little art class for those who care. So I might do some ranting in the meantime. Well, it's pretty clear. I mean, I don't even know if their little assignment to lampoon is going to work because I called it out. So, as a Google employee, IPS, his cover's been blown because I think they just like once the cover's blown, they get upset and then they send in the bots to like thumbs down anything I do, and they also like hide and unsubscribe people from the channel. So it's Google, it's involved. So, hi, we'll be dealing with you. I know how to serve you because I did small claims court with Google. So I knew that Google was involved since 2012. It's their platform to kind of engineer who's going to view the real content, the absolutes of the flat earth. And I knew that they were going to like start jockeying a bunch of fakes with poppycock theories and all sorts of crazy quackery, and I'm going to talk about that while I paint. But I'm going to let you go, but we'll like carry on, and we're gonna like fuse my stuff with your stuff, and then we will begin the process.
Yes, getting these people out of here.
Anyways, so I'll talk to you in a bit, hun. Thank you very much. We'll talk soon. Okay, bye.
Oh, thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Yes. So I thought I would invite people to see some artwork being done. And they control it. They control it. So funny to see people control good work. Funny. I find it fascinating. I feel bad for them because A, they don't have the capacity because they spent their childhood, I don't know, watching sports or playing video games. They didn't, spend it out painting landscape. That's for sure. It's not like they were out there painting landscape every day at the age of 13 like I was. So yeah, there's a lot of people out there that don't know what to do with themselves. And I think it has to do with the fact that there's no role models. There's no father figures. The family collapsed. So, you got a generation of people that, you know, there were no losers when they played soccer or football. Nobody got an A or an F. Can't fail anybody. And they spent their youth playing video games. You know, if they're going to do art, they're going to do like, you know, they're going to do computer art. Most likely. And when somebody's going to do, you see, for the last 5-6 years, they've been pushing artists. Why have they been pushing, like, on TV, tattoo reality show, or Silicon Valley, or Adobe art, or memes? Nobody paints. You know, one good EMP electronics strike, and there's no record of any of the photos of anybody in your life, anything you painted on computer, any video game software, any movie you did digitally that's on a cloud or on YouTube. It's all gone. Cover this with a couple coats of resin, and that those 5G cell phone cooker towers, I'll like UV cook that thing until it's like harder than marble. This ain't going nowhere. That's why I paint on cement. See, we are the custodians of an era, the painter. When there was no camera to illustrate the period or the epoch, the era, you know, what was going on. It was like cave paintings on the wall or murals in the church, or what was life back then like if there was no cameras. They came to the visual documenter. The painter wasn't just an artist. We were a historian in a sense. And they would try to cram in the entire era, the motif, the drama. They would try to cram it all in the painting. Right? Get it all in there. And fool the monarch and fool the pope with like hidden meanings too. Because, you know, in some cases they were kind of like forced to paint certain themes to brainwash the masses. Kind of like music today, or TV. There's no TV, it was the artist. And isn't it funny how it all comes back full circle? Interesting, huh? Some idiot on the internet said I don't paint. Well, that's because the way I paint takes for fucking ever. So I'm not one of these goofballs going, look at me paint an eye on YouTube. I carefully choreograph my scenes. I hire the model. I don't go ripping shit off the internet and then, you know, playing with it on Adobe. Everything's from scratch, folks. Even the music. Whether you like it or not, that's fucking good music. Because I dare you to find any band that's just gonna be like, all right, let's see what happens. Because when we're doing music on the NASA Channel Late Show, nobody knows what's going to happen with the music. Like, I don't know what I'm going to say. They don't know what they're going to play on the guitar or on the drums or on the keys, Katie on the keys. Nobody knows. That's the beauty. And I paint like that too. Sometimes it's just like, I'd like to do more of that, but it's like I always got to show people like, your condo development's going to look like this graphic. Your world's going to look like this. Okay, you gonna buy into the globe now and get taxed? Buy a shirt. Save the world from World War III, August 21st. I usually don't bring up dates. Never brought up dates. But if there was ever a date to bring up, that's right. It's coming. This can't continue. Folks, I'm from Canada originally, okay? We got free healthcare. You know why it works there? Well, A, It's free because all the big pharmaceutical and biotech companies get to practice on Canadian citizens, and they give the Canadian government grants to practice on them with their new chemistries and stuff. Meanwhile, the whole thing's out of date. They're euthanizing the elderly. Tried to do it to my mom. They did it to my dad. And the hospitals are owned by the government. Every doctor is a government employee. They get paid by the government. You're trying to have a free Canadian healthcare system in the United States economy, while the hospitals are all privately owned and the doctors make $1 million salaries. It's not gonna work. Your thing's gonna explode. Your economy's gonna explode. Your military's spread out intentionally. Everybody's pissed off the US is cheating in the markets. And they got every state on the West Coast, which is the entry point for a foreign enemy to do a land invasion, high on genetically modified indica. Good luck. You know, good luck finding some kid that doesn't smoke dope under 40. Good fucking luck. Who isn't smoking in genetically modified indica playing video games. You know, you could learn how to, you know, fly drones and blow up shit in the Middle East all you want. You know what the Russians worked on? How to just disable your electronics with localized EMP signals coming out of jets. You're fucked. You electrolyzed or electronicalized your entire war machine, and the Russians just made buttons that go bzz, and then turn off substations and power plants and just turn off electricity. Look, I mean, all we could do is say the earth is flat to everyone in Russia and try to get through China. And China's got a major cyber wall. If we can get those people, 1 billion people, the thing is with the RH positives, they're monkey see, monkey do. They don't really have ideas of their own. They copy, they do cover music, they covet, they steal. And the people who create new things like Tesla, they're RH negative. There's no RH negative in China. But the thing is about RH positive is because it's a monkey see, monkey do genome that's been inserted over time by the elite into the human genome. Once they see the groups doing it, then it goes like wildfire. So there's a lot of merit in that kind of like groupthink for the flat earth. We have to somehow infiltrate China. We need people who speak Chinese to get like the absolutes. Not like, oh, the sky is glass and there's a wall and it's ice and here's my map. And these people have never even left their lazy boy and put out a blunt to go check out the continent in Antarctica. We can't let those people represent flat earth. Could you let somebody called asshole represent the credibility of all these proofs to the Chinese culture? Like the way they're gonna translate asshole in Chinese? I mean, they're gonna laugh. It's just not going to work. It's there to sabotage the flat earth from reaching other languages and cultures. Translated in Russian, asshole says this, Nazi says this, the YouTube gamer guy says this, the sex offender, because that's all over the web now, rapper says all of science is wrong. You know, these are going to be your spokespeople for when it gets translated into China. Fuck. Be very careful the type of person you get behind. And it's so sad you're not getting behind the beauty of an artist. I mean, do you really think a plumber or a guy who rides a tractor in 2006 would have like managed to get this thing off the ground? But a hyper-realist comedian, hyper-realist painter comedian, that was like a nice grenade in the mind of the empire, and I got treated like shit. I'm not even gonna look at the comments right now. I'll look at a comment if you like buy the shirt, photo or painting. Walk around with this little blue pill in your hometown. That's how you're gonna win a debate. Go around with just like a jersey or like a hoodie trying to tell everybody it's flat, and you don't address their proof, the image, and then challenge them. Is this a photo or painting? Start from there. You're a fucking idiot. Because I'm the one who started the flat earth. Yeah, and I'm gonna rub it in your face forever. Because I get to. That's smart. My gift I earned. It's my gift to me. That's God's gift to me, actually. I mean, I don't even like start this debate without this shirt on. Actually, this shirt starts the debate. I don't have to impose it. And I also end the debate with this shirt. So I only sold 200 shirts, but this is over. It's the world over right now. And I'll tell you honestly, a lot of people are not buying it. They think you're all clinically insane. And I have to admit, like, if you're going out there and debating the flat earth with like a cartoon, even more cartoonish than this, with a flat earth, you're a fucking idiot. You're gonna fail. Good luck. I mean, they might get to it, but I can't believe it got this big without it. Good, that's good. But in the end, it's not gonna fly in China. This is a very conformist culture that's very scared, top-down control. I just don't see it. You need something credible. You need China to wake up. Because that's where World War III will either have legs or not. Because those people are so ready and so xenophobic and so brainwashed by their government. Okay? I mean, their space footage is even faker than the water bubbles on the ISS. See, I'm not a plumber. I'm a guy who painted the globes for you. I'm not a farmer who suddenly... They would have no credibility. It took an artist to say the image you thought was a photo was art. And that's why there's a flat earth. And I get to say that with gleam, with gaze. I am the beholder. I am the eye of the beholder. I'm probably the eye on top of that pyramid. Careful what you ask for, Illuminati. Trained eye. He's not even painting. Savages while Noah builds the ark. Yeah. It's all about glazing, friends, over and over and over. You know, glazing and glazing, like the masters did. I'll go over this with resin, and I'll paint on that. And I'll just keep going until I hit reality, and then I go beyond it, and it becomes hyper-realism. That's what I did with your globe. I basically did a hyper-realistic sort of body of work, art. Hyper-realist body of work, artwork, on the heliocentric globe. And it made some waves. Some people who were just getting into this and they think ODD, some rapper, started the flat earth, or B.O.B., or some porn star with fake tits. Or they're trying to say I'm a gay porn actor because I did some acting. You need a guy who also knows how Hollywood works, because that's how this whole thing manipulated you. Like if you look at the old space movies, I mean, it's just so hokey. I wonder if back then they thought that looked real in black and white. You know, like a wobbling Earth and like a tinfoil moon and all in black and white. Did they think that looked real back then? Yeah. Nobody actually had any kind of three-dimensional on a two-dimensional or one-dimensional screen depiction. A proper sort of, you know, visual of the heliocentric universe until Stanley Kubrick. And I mean, that was being made in the 50s, and it came out in 69, like what? Just the same year that they go up into the space. It was almost like the movie was the cue NASA would get their curricula from, just do more raw footage or stationary camera on mundane objects. It'll look even more real because it's not sci-fi. And also, it was training you so that when they show you the visual, you know, and it was a survey. That's why they weren't sure if they were going to go to the moon. It was only based off the audience reaction worldwide of Space Odyssey that they were able to, okay, let's do it. And we got to do it because the 60s are just around the corner and the black people want to vote and the women are starting to realize they're being subjugated and communism is afoot and blah, 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 and all this other theater. And they were worried that they wouldn't be able to control it. So it was a huge hypnotic black magic ritual cast on the minds and eyes of all of humanity. And it bought them time for a couple decades until I showed up. I started painting when I was 3 years old. Yeah. My mom caught me in my room at 2. She walked in and she saw me painting a mural on the wall with my shit. True story. And she called my father in and they were both looking at it and I was like, basically they were both in shock because it was like basically a portrait of them. On the wall, high detail, in shit. It wasn't high detail, it was a high detail for a kid, you know what I mean? But, you know, they knew it was mommy and daddy painted in shit. I didn't know it was shit. I'm 2 years old. Matter of fact, they say a lot of kids who play with their shit end up being creatives. So you have to nurture that, but it gets shut down and then it builds resentment, you know, along with the circumcision of men and everything else they do. And it's a whole other topic. Would I paint? Somebody asked me, would you be painting if you were, you know, if everybody died and it was the end of the world? And I quickly responded, and I said, probably not. You know, the landscape is there. I have it all to myself. Do I need to actually cherish it and like celebrate it? Or I'm just like, it's a strange thing because it can be qualified by today's generation as a narcissistic act as opposed to being something that has no choice in the matter. You're born to paint. Mm-hmm. And I think it's called narcissistic so that they can have less and less people leaving a mark of this era and anything up in the cloud ready to go poof with any kind of electronic burst or attack. Just, oops, oh, it's gone. Wow. Yet, and you could usually tell the end of an era is coming when people are A, waking up. They've created a technological platform where there's going to be no paper or solid hard copy record of the era. And then there's a genocide. And then we don't know what happened because there's no fucking record. And then what they push to is like all temporary, ephemeral art, like tattoo. Like, guy's dead, I mean, that's gone. You know? Mural art with spray can, where you see no hand or paint stroke with the arm, but it's all the same because it goes, psst, comes out of a nozzle. So there's no distinguishing between one human artist to the other. And also setting it up where, well, a machine could spray. Just take photocopying equipment, and then make the nozzles bigger, and then have it spray vertically. So I paint real, but I also want my brushstroke in there. You know, I want the sport of like, it was just 4 or 5 colors and a whip, but it made like her lip. And I want you to come up and go, wow, there's his brain manipulating me, that's a lip. But it only works if I have an audience. I'm sharing right now. You know? If there was no humanity, I would probably not be painting. Then it would be narcissism. Fucking painting. Wait, I think I'm God? I'm trying to imitate a landscape that's already there and it's all to myself, but I gotta do, hey, I'm like you, God. But with the humanity in a world around me that's going through chaos and being intentionally rewritten and manipulated, and are going to be hiding what happened now before they do their thing. Because the flat earth was basically me going, no more globe. Your globe is just bringing us World War III. And then if you want to we need the globers who can't get it to at least renounce the globe going, I'm not part of your globalism. Didn't work out. You might need to find another way in. We're in the 9th wave, going into the 10th. And these people have seen all these crazy flat earthers with their even more theories and belief than it takes to believe in the ball. You know, I find that people who came into the flat earth, not through me or photo or painting, which is strange. It's like, how did you... If they don't come in through this kind of even an atheist has to admit this, you know? This undeniable statement that they have to face photo or painting on all of them. And then they have to go, well, once you've taken that apart, you go, why are they all fake? Is it that? That would be the second psychology. And then from the second psychology they will have, see, somebody's gonna fucking take all this, it's copyright Matt Powerland for the book. All of it. If you think I'm not putting this together as some sort of comedy presentation or a huge book, I guess you'll get something in the mail that's gonna explain that to you. Right? Because this could be just an exercise too. And you could sell that to the Globers. I've sold some shirts to some Globers, big fans. Not because they think I'm a shill, but they know damn well I'm passionate about this, and they love it. They love watching the drama, they love watching this, but they've told me that they personally, beyond the failure of proving a curving ground at ground level, with site targets that are visible beyond what they say would be obstructed by curving Earth to make the ball, they say that they chose to believe that the Earth is round. But they are 100% behind me. Because they know how important it is to have the freedom to ask such a simple, basic question. And as the Globers come in and they still tell me they believe it's round, it shows me how dark it's getting. They got me thinking I should just write a paper and have you all round it up. And I could. You have to understand how much time I've had to analyze the psychiatry of humanity with this, this thesis, this curriculum that I've developed, going way back. And what I would have to do to kind of deconstruct such deep brainwashing, or attempt to. So if I'm a surgeon and you're brainwashed, I have to maybe come up with simulations or, a strategy on how to get your mind back to a neutral, independent observer and not have dogma clouding your eyesight. And the brainwash was so deep that I had to confess a past. I had to confess working for an agency. That was like my scalpel. I had to, because you were also fucking brainwashed. Pardon the French. Like, really, very thick. I mean, it was not 6, 7, 8 years ago, until I explained who I was to my close friends and stuff. And even then, they had a hard time. That people thought those images of the Earth were photos. Don't run away from me. You know who you are. You're here now. And you mocked me. And now you're one of my mind. Or your mind. Or the fact of it always being flat. However, this operation was led by me. I don't want to be your leader. I'm leading myself. You're just coming along with me. That's what this has been. And I've shouted it from the rooftops to protect myself. Anything happens to me, well, it could validate it. Anything happens to me, which they tried in 2010, don't pay attention to all the other people that are coming in and saying it didn't happen. Oh, it happened. And the reason why there's no scrapes on my ripped jeans is that's the next day and all my jeans have rips. Idiot. Like, have you seen me not wear jeans that aren't ripped at the knees? So these are operatives. They're trolling for appearance. That there's people out there who are like you, who are realizing I'm a fake because that's not a real accident. No, they're operatives. They know that I have ripped jeans in all my other videos. They just put that comment there so they could fuck with you because you're being sprayed and you don't know it. Or you do know it and it's affected your memory, so you're not connecting dots here. I've been somewhat immune to this. I've also been a subject to study as a kid. You're dragged out of the classroom, you know, like all these kids there. I fucking tell you this. All these kids here. It was grade 5. And it's all these kids, you know, 30 kids. It's the middle of the day. And it was literally like I was pulled out of the classroom by my parents. I don't know what the fuck happened. I was pulled out of... I was in class. I remember the glass door, and I remember my mom's face, and then they were there, and then they had the rights to take me out. Of course, they're my parents, so they took me out and the teacher consented. And I'm in there now with my other 2 sisters, and we're driving downtown to Montreal. Now, my dad was a very, very intelligent man, and he's one of that generation of electrical engineers that he had to formulate on his own. There was nobody before him. How do I power a pulp and paper mill without the machines exploding or bursting or there being an electric surge around so much sawdust and paper and wood? Fire hazard. It's like keep you up at night, you know what I mean? Like, this is when logging was, they were just having the logs, they were using the rivers to transport trees. It was Dr. Seuss in the end of that book there, the Lorax, where the trees are just being sucked up by vacuums. They're just using rivers as like the transport system for the logs. Oh shit, we're putting mercury, we're poisoning the water, the fish are done. Okay, stop using the river to float the logs. Okay, now we gotta get trucks. Shit. All right, raise the price. Now that we got them hooked at the lumber yard, we're on paper and newspapers. So he has the power of the pulp and paper mill with enough kilowatts where the thing doesn't blow up, and nobody's ever done that before. And the quarry and the metal refinery and the hydro dam, and I don't know if he worked on nuclear, he wouldn't have told us, but he worked for Can-Do, or he worked for the company that owns Can-Do. And he was kind of torn as a Catholic and a Christian by something. And he was the youngest man in Canada to go to university at that time, and I think even to this day he's like, it's 14. And he was an electrical engineer at like 16, 17, you know, and then 18 he's out. And he's working for all these big companies. He could work anywhere, he could go anywhere, he could do whatever he wants. A bit like me, but certainly I don't have the stability he had. But I do. I'm like slowly coming into it. And they dragged us out of the classroom, downtown, And there's like my sister sitting next to me, and we're in a doctor's chair. We're in a hospital. We pulled out of the school, and we're in a hospital. There's nothing wrong with me. And there's basically, we went on some tests, allergies. So I don't know how many other people were there, but I talked to a lot of people. Nobody got this. You know, a lot of people, some people did. And I talked to them, and I'm like, you're like my type, my tribe. There's something interesting going on with you. Like there's... And they just start doing a row of pricks, of needle after needle, just like click, click, click. They went a row all the way up. Then they went a row all the way down. So did they even go on the other arm? Can't remember that. I think so. Maybe there was a couple in this arm too. But it was like heroin addict. It was pretty bad. I don't know what it was. They said it was for allergies. Turns out we didn't have any. Okay. Weird. But that goes in like the computer when I'm like, 11 or 12 years old. 10 or 11 years old. No allergies. What else? My blood type, no allergies. Are they following people throughout their life? The old days you had to slaughter every baby. Make sure you get Jesus. Now it's just like you get born in the lab, do blood work, everything, shoot you up. Now they shoot you up so you don't fucking become who you were supposed to be. Keep you retarded. And with all these vaccines, God knows what you were supposed to do. That they knew you might off those genes. They know that. I seem to be like, I got out of the gate. Somehow. But then there was this priest assigned to my family. Didn't help my dad and mom's relationship like it was supposed to, but he taught me perspective. He endeared himself with everyone. But there was a few of my sisters like, no, something about this guy, I'm not going to fall for it. Because he had like a little spell for each one of us. But this started when I was 3. And I started I started painting realism, more real than this even, at 14. And I got into 13 I got into a gallery. And by 14 I was a photorealist. And then I was doing galleries, and a couple closed, and it was a bit painful. And I got in a museum wing, and started selling privately, and then I kept most of my money. And after like another theft with a gallery, there was like they stole a bunch of paintings, closed up, and it took 2 years to get the pieces back. Of which all of them are sold too. They're all sold. Sold them all. Got them back and sold them all. I've always sold all my pieces. Even if they hang around for a bit. I get to enjoy them. And then they go away. I don't like it when it's like that with people that I fall in love with. And I feel like this entire thing, if I could keep one thing, it would be my wife. And I would lose you. Every one of you. Definitely an attempt to ruin the relationship with my wife. And knowing how I can handle all the other things that are going on while I've got obligations to my company, my clients, people. And, you know, more important things than a bunch of people who are like, you know, in their late 20s or early 30s that I'll take it from here. Oh, you will you? Interesting. Where's that going to go? See, I know where this is going. I start it and I finish it. So I know where the end is. I do this continuously. Most people are just doing tasks as an employee for an employer. Or babysitting something, like securing, watching something. Could be a work site, could be a building, could be the front gate, could be a handicapped kid or a dying patient. There's that profession out there. But we're talking about the profession where you start something and you finish it. A vision, a plan. So you're going to have to kind of grow up and realize that all these people that have entered my work, and I'm trying to say this as delicately as possible and as seriously as possible, are probably Google employees that are working with agencies, but they're definitely involved. And they do this to a few other kind of movements. And they hire their cults of personality. YouTube is in the game of production. They have YouTube Red. So they got their cast of wannabe actors and their thing. They're gonna Netflix this, okay? So it's already starting. They're practicing with this kind of going and co-op truth movements with these fake intel characters. But you're gonna grow out of them soon because you're gonna get past the 101 because there's some great 101 videos out there. And you're gonna be like, I'm getting cabin fever now. So how do we prove this? Or I'm just some psycho with a belief. Because sooner or later, this movement will either have to step up to academia or stay stuck in cult. And the only way to not be labeled cult is to do the final conclusive proof. And you could work around this all you want, operatives, but we all know it's as simple as just taking a journey by foot, see, and that's it. Foot see. Okay, so foot sees, little foot see trip. And that's the north-south complete navigation of the continent of Antarctica by a lot of people, so they're all witnessing that it is the same surface and the same conclusion. And to really make it democratic, we broadcast it simulcast to the rest of the world. Could be a thing that interrupts World War III. Because Flat Earth is almost as big as World War III rhetoric right now. And that was my goal all along, as this little interruption in your reality before it got choked and exterminated by an evil few. And so I see this expedition as a massive unifying, educational, unifying moment. So I'm serious about this. But I'm not going there swimming in frigid water. I'm not going to try to get whatever boat I can and then go there with skis. I'm not an idiot. Especially if the landmass continues past what would be a sphere. Just leave it at that. You realize the sun's just rotating around a section on a bigger surface. It's the light thing that's moving around here. It's like bugs over shit, for all we know. But I won't relegate it to that. But it's flying things and a surface. Moon and sun flying surface. Can't go this way. Why? Because I can't go that far to look back and see at what point I don't see this anymore. Basically, I can't go past the point where I wouldn't see it anymore. Is that it? Or I see something else because it's not a ball. This ends in Antarctica. That's the way the painting ends. That's the way I'm finishing this painting. I told you, every painting I do has a start and an end. That's what I do. I'm not watching this and then pretending I'm controlling it. I'm painting it. I've been painting it. You're in the painting. So when I say, you're in my work, you're like, this is my painting. This is my artwork. This is my body work. Imagine the landscapes I'll see, you know? To think there'd be no potato if they didn't come to America. Look at how prevalent the potato is in our world now. What other foods are there? Vegetation, fauna, flowers. For somebody to be a flat earther and not wonder, this is a person who's going to use the Bible as the proof. They're not even into Proust. Now they're going to go into other drawings. They're going to be worse than the Globers with their drawings. Again, most of those people, we've questioned them, their blood type is Rh positive. There's no Rh negatives that are domers. Only a few left in the globes. But even then, that's mostly Rh positive. The people who came into Flat Earth between 2000, who got it when I talked, so 2000, we'll say 2011 to 2004, 15, 14, are Rh negative. That's the common denominator. That's bona fide now. That's my personal, results. I have it all documented. It's quite wild. So there's something going on with blood. Of course there's something going on with blood. Look at the red carpet. It's the bloodline. St. George Cross, the Red Cross, two red carpets, two bloodlines crossing. Need some blood for the soldiers because they're fighting for this blue blood family. Right? Getting pretty serious out there. So you're gonna have to figure out how you're gonna really be gentle and soft and very, very stick to absolutes they can't deny to communicate very quickly with the rest of humanity before they start their thing. Because they're flooding 18-year-old boys with guns on sensitive borders every day while they taunt you that they could pull the plug with their little North Korea card if you don't behave. It's racing. You're racing right now. The human race is basically a race against the lie. It's not a ball. And as you wake up, the establishment is racing with their make-believe theater of war. They call it the theater of war. They call it the Pacific Theater. you know, to be here painting all this, and then see everybody drink this Kool-Aid like there's going to be a war with Russia. Dude, it's 6 guys with ties. People, 6 guys with ties. They fucking kill all of you. All these fucking brainwashed 18-year-old boys, you know, thinking that the Russians really want to kill them. And it makes the Russians think that the fucking Americans really want to kill them. You know, when you go to Colorado and you talk to some of these jarheads, you'd think they did. You'd think that a Russian raped his sister. It's like, the brainwash is so successful. It's like, raped his wife. That's what you go to Colorado and the people there seem to think that all their wives were raped by Russian soldiers. That's how well they brainwashed those American soldiers. Fucking hate them. They don't even know. It's just insane. It's like they're on a drug or something. Like some sort of weird military bath salt. What, you eat his arm? Whoa, buddy. I've seen some people like, can't wait to get those Ruskies. And this was in 2015. This was popping off in their heads in 2015. So there's plenty of like piss and vinegar for a bunch of 18-year-old jarheads. So we need to just focus on the flat earth, getting to the globers. Now I've pretty much showed you a map of pretty much everybody out there who's either acted against the unifying proof, unified field theory. Unified field theory. Wow, right in your fucking face. The unified field theory, right? Going across the big field. We need to, this is an event to celebrate humanity. All these 47 nations, hey look, can we just get, 10 from all these 47 nations to be a part of our expedition? And we work together and we'd show how it's a ball and we got to preserve the world. No, 6 guys with ties, you put your troops here, they're figuring out it's not a fucking ball. Shut them down. Somebody said, and I will quote her because it was one of her great quotes. I never actually attacked this woman, but I tried to be nice with her, but it's whatever. She had some funny stuff. But, people wanna, I don't know what's possessing them. Am I highlighting something that's missing in you? Was that what this was all about since the beginning? I don't know what to say anymore. I'm just gonna finish my painting. You could sit there and watch, or you could jump in and get involved. Okay? And you'll communicate nicely in a classy manner with globalists, people who believe in the present status quo science, in a manner that makes sane sense, reflects the values of logic and absolutes and absolute conclusions, and present the flat earth with style to a glober. Not preach to the choir, not nitpick anymore. We all know who the fakes are. You know who they are. I'm not aligned with any of these people. I have not approved to most of them. You know who I'm with. I had to let somebody in because they were an hour and a half from me. I let them in. Let them in by proximity. No. That turned out how I suspected it would. An attempt to strategically attack me. Okay. Sandbag me. And also affect like the client that I was working for at the time. I mean, not good. That's the other thing too, is that these people don't have jobs. I don't know who's paying them to be in a career of the flat earth. But I have to work. I enjoy my work. This for me is like a work of art that I'm working on, long form. It's a big body of work. That's better. Bunch of old man plans. It's just old man deciding whether we die or live. Interesting. You're gonna go along with this? Earth is flat. I don't believe in your bowl of shit, your ball of crap. How's that? Just use it as a statement if you don't think the Earth is flat. The fact that you can't even use it as a statement just to renounce like the empire as a globalist, you should ask yourself, why do you have such a problem just to even just say it's flat and go, fuck you, empire? Why? Because if you can't have an answer why, well then it's brainwashing. I mean, it's just like how ridiculous the cognitive dissonance goes. You can't even entertain it as sci-fi or a punk fuck you to the school principal who's lying the whole school population, which is what they do. Formalization of lies. School, formalization of lies. I wouldn't go that far, man. I'll hijack the notion of far until you let me go across Antarctica. See, I have a million of them, folks. It's almost like I was born for this. Hey, I was born for this. Hey, this came from me being born. Some people have a problem with that. No, you'd still be looking at your little Earth pics thinking they were photos. I know I'm triggering some people, but that's what I love. That's what this whole flat Earth is, and that's why I started it. That's why I started the NASA canal, the NASA channel, some people say. The NASA channel. An acronym. I do it in such a way that if anybody ever grabs me, you know for sure it's on. It says in Romans that the government is not a terror to good works. Okay. Let me finish the beautiful lady from North Korea who defected. Yeah, that's a whole nice piece. You'll like that. Make fun of that one. Now I'm just watching how people make fun of it. Or don't like it. Like, what do you not like about this hot chick? Like, from North Korea with a blonde white guy painting her into reality. I'm not grabbing her foot. I'm actually going to be painting her. So I'm painting me right now, painting her into the painting? Or am I painting her in reality in the context of the painting? Or am I doing a painting of me painting a painting? I will be more realistic than her, though. So I'm going to play with that too. What are you going to do with somebody like me? This is freedom of expression. I get to, express myself with art, comedy. Wow, you made all these nice toys for us human beings. Music, comedy, art, acting, performance, live theater, science apparently. It's also one of the greatest performances of all time. Political science. Wow, when I found out they had that, I was like, that's the courses I'm going to take. So I was already in galleries, in a museum wing. Had to go to university to make sure my parents would shut up. And so, I went to the university my dad went to when he was 14. I thought, I'm going to be treated like royalty here. No. Quite the opposite. I got out early, pulled a little fast one. Could have got out at 16, but it's not the same days. I went at 17 and got out at 19. I had my whole life ahead of me, and I was a political scientist. Back to painting, keep my mom at bay when she's complaining about being broke or whatever it is, until I finish my paintings, because I was born to observe. and take note for an audience. I'm not doing this for myself. I'm a born professional, archaic observer that can do your reality without an invention, except me. And I'm from God. I'm a born painter. I'm a born observer. So I had to do their little university thing, took that degree, and I like shooting my mouth off, so then I became a comedian. So at the end of the day of painting, go out to a club, like a good Irishman doing like a limerick, and I would go up on stage after a few beers and then like put my foot in my mouth about something that shouldn't be my foot in my mouth, but we should all be addressing it by now. But it turns out that that was the putting your foot in your mouth. So I thought that was funny. So just saying the truth was funny. Wow. Saying what I observe that nobody wants to admit it is that simple and that ridiculous, there's also an art form for that. I'll take that. I'll do that as well. Why not? I'll take a glass of that and I get to go on stage. Oh boy, all the things I'm mad at and pissed off about, I can make fun of it right here with a crowd. And I'm a hyperrealist who had some work in the museum, whose dad was an engineer for one of the top weapons manufacturing companies. And we don't know the genes of his mother, because she's an orphan. Do they keep track of people like that? I don't know. Let's find out. Now let's unleash that the earth isn't a ball. See at what point this whole thing isn't really freedom. Not like my ideal of freedom, where somebody's doing bullshit and you can go, that guy's bullshit. That science is bullshit. That story is bullshit. No. There's a reason why they want it in a story. And there's a reason why they want it in your heads. Because they're engineering your society. So they don't want somebody out there who's going to start talking about that. And how is it engineered? Well, it starts from like the shape. And then that shapes your reality. And that shapes your mind. Shape and space control the mind. Shape, come up with a shape, then you control time. So, they came up with globes so they can control time. Your time. On it. So, I'm like the last one, man. Take a good look. They want people like me done. They want robots. The way people come in and attack, or this army of bots or trolls, it's like they don't like an organic human being who's paying attention, documenting. It's fucked up. You're getting rid of organic human beings, man. Gen X. I'm Gen X. I'm like one of the last. Take a good look. I'm like a fucking artifact. I'm like the artifact. You know what? I work so hard, I'm gonna celebrate. You know what? I don't care if you call me like a narcissist or whatever. Like, I work fucking hard, man. I went out in 2005 and I said that the earth was flat. In 2005. And it was a problem for them because I was a smart man who did this. And I could explain in a way where they didn't know how to defend their model. 2005, man. 2004, really. It took like 2 years, like really quiet. Really fucking... If it's not true, then they gotta plug all these holes. If I get to these holes and something weird's happening around them, or you can't get a ticket, or there's no real flight package, or there's like this instrument doesn't do that, or they don't do this there, or they control that lens, or everybody's under this company, at each one of these holes that they would have to plug to make their ball real, if there's something weird at each one of these gates, it's fucking hiding. They're hiding that it's flat. So I had to do that for about 2-3 years alone, paranoid on myself, still exercise. Well, this is just like, this is an amazing comedy bit. At the very least, whole crowd's fucked. They're gonna have it in their head. Seed spreads. Content starts to be created across the web. But before I could really get this thing going, I was already kiboshed. I mean, like, nixed from the comedy world. Got in and started doing like the... I knew I had to come in through the satellite gigs, and then before the clubs, but it never really got in the clubs, but I did sneak it on a live TV. Everybody goes, when's it going to be on TV? It's like, it was on TV a long time ago, folks. That's how I started this. It started with the French. It's just like interesting when you just throw a meme out there. It's like people, something very big, you can just hear blah, blah, blah. People talk. So even in a language, then it percolates and it rounds about, and I keep pumping out the material in English, and now I start working on the US. And then mirror cells, all sorts of mirror channels. And different types of things that would be undeniable for you to deny. Plant some seeds along the way. For those, it's going to take some time. Well, it was quite political science the way I went about it as a hyperrealist painter, using the only two methods at an individual's like recourse. Oh, thank God I wasn't a plumber. Or not that plumbers don't like fucking, you know, I put my hands in these pipes every day and I gotta pull out your crap. It's flat. No, I'm painting the globe. I'm telling you, you know, it's like, it's a good package. I mean, it's a curse, but it's a good package. It's a good package to do it. It did it. And then they did a counter strike. It's hard for somebody at Glover to even get there. They have to go flat to even. And then you got to be flat for a while to go, wait a minute, this thing's infested with fucking some sort of agencies in here like trying to contain it with nonsense. They're always steering away from these absolutes. That takes a while. I mean, you're in your like frosh week of flat earth, you know, your first year. Been doing this 15 years. Now we can just have like a good late show party where we rock out. That's where we're at. You know, you just got into this and it's like a big deal. You don't even know who I am. That's what's funny. I knew it was going to get to that too. That's how I knew everything was controlled. They decide who's in the minds of the many. It's all controlled, folks. But I must maintain the political science of this absurdity in a very rigorous sort of, you know, use of the scientific method. Is it a value system? What kind of value system? Has it been co-opted when it comes to doing a ground experiment to prove it? Yes, it's blocked heavily guarded. Interesting. Fitting more and more the thesis it's flat. Thesis, nonetheless, you can't copy it off someone else. It's plagiarism. You know? Still plagiarism. All of you. And this is while the guy's painting an original painting. He's telling you you're taking this thesis and you're just like doing what you think whatever you want with it. What I put on the channel? Okay. Not like a TV show idea here. It's like, it's a comedy routine. It's a thesis. It's a painting. So it's a body of work I created that I take quite seriously. You know? And I'm just using my mind. I have no access to armies. So when you see these people come in, it's almost laughable. And especially the trolls. What have you done today? Got a lot of people wondering if the earth is flat right now. That's what I did. Thanks for watching.